Hello everybody, Marlene, aka Snow Gardener 307. We are here for Back to the Basics. We've got a few things to cover today. First, we are going to get an update from Briana. That's right, you guys, we're going to have a small update from Briana. Then we're going to talk about a financial baseline. And this is a very basic for budgeting, so it's perfect for our series today. And then last but not least, we are going to go ahead and do my personal finances. I'm going to confess to you guys, tell you guys how much I spent this last week, how I'm going to pay for it. We're going to unstuff my wallet, restuff my wallet, and we're going to end with some savings challenges going towards my mortgage.
Wake up, today's going to be a good day. Wake up, today's going to be a good day.
Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. We're going to talk about Briana first. I am a little bit disappointed, and I know Briana is disappointed as well, but we do not have a paycheck to paycheck budget sheet to put up on the screen today. I can tell you this, that Briana has been ill and was in the hospital. And so life happens, right? Life happens. Her getting me that budget sheet is not a top priority in her life right now, and it should not be, right? So she did let me know that she did get child support, so woohoo, that's a positive for sure. Now, she's not sure if she's going to continually get it or not. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Briana and her family that that will be something that comes back into their budget so that they can start really tackling this debt that they've still got remaining. She also wanted to let me know that they did make more money than what was budgeted for. So the income coming in was higher than what they budgeted for. So they were able to pay all of the bills that was on the paycheck to paycheck budget. So another thumbs up there, right? Because that is so important. Now, of course, they are getting ready to start another 2-week period of the budget. And Briana did not want to use the extra money to pay towards debt because of the medical stuff that she's dealing with. We know how that is. Maybe there's a copay, maybe there's a deductible, maybe there's medications, there is missed time at work. I don't know Briana's situation. I don't know if she has sick leave, paid sick leave, unpaid sick leave, anything like that, but there is all of those considerations. So she decided to hold on to any of the extra money to put towards those first. And I would have done the same thing that Briana is doing. So I think that that is amazing on her part. Her decision making for that is super excellent. And then she says right here that she did work Monday, which was a paid holiday. And so she will get double time for that. And so at least this next check will have extra money on it. So she did let us know that. So that's it for the Briana update. Like I said, short and sweet. Now I want to talk to you guys about the term financial baseline. Have you guys ever heard this term? And if you have, do you know what your financial baseline is? My financial baseline hadn't been configured for about a year or so. And a lot of stuff has changed for me in the past year. So I sat down this week with pen and paper. That's all it takes, you guys, pen, paper. And of course, you're going to need to know, you're going to need to have your smartphone, your computer, something, or paper bills if you're old school. You're going to need to know what your bills are, what your expenses are. Now, when we talk about a financial baseline, this is the bare bottom of what you need to pay your bills. And so, of course, we've got a Yorkie in the background that thinks that she needs to be heard. So she is barking in the other room. So let me go take care and see what's going on. The basis of financial baseline is you need to know what you need to live. Now, this is not your wants. This is only your needs. So this is not, I need 15 avocados at the store this week because I love my avocado toast. This is not, I want to get my eyelashes done. This is not, I want to go to a concert or I want to travel. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about your baseline. So the bare minimum that you need to make to live, right? To pay your mortgage, to feed you and your family, to pay your bills, whether that be things like power for your home, internet, cell phone, or your debts, right? Your credit card debt, your land loan. Maybe you have a yacht that you need to pay on. So that is what that is. And so I did my financial baseline. And so, of course, there's a lot of different numbers that you'll see floating around depending on who you watch, what financial advice you're going to take from what person. But it's very common for your household expense as far as your home mortgage to be 30%, 25% of what you actually make. So for me, if you're not familiar, my husband and I, we actually have separate budgets. So our mortgage, I cut in half. Our escrow, I cut in half because he pays half, I have to pay the other half. And so for me, between the house and the escrow, I need $750 a month for my home. Now, of course, that doesn't include utilities or anything. So for utilities, I actually wrote them down on a list that I'm holding right here. And so I have got my cell phone, right? My cell phone, I do use it all the time. I'm using it right now. It's about $75. Could I save money on cell phone bill? Of course I could. There are 4 people on our plan, and all 4 of us have a phone payment of some sort with that plan. So we might think about that, because I really think that will help my son and daughter as well if we can figure out a different plan. Before, in the small town in Wyoming that we were living in, there were only 2 choices. And one was a Wyoming-based company, and when you left Wyoming, it really stunk. The other one was Verizon. And the service in Wyoming with Verizon used to not be great either. But now there are more options. So change may be needed in this in the future. Then we've got our electricity. We do have an equal pay. I don't know when that's going to reset, but I can tell you it's $82 a month. So I figured $41 for myself. Internet, $58 is half. We do have Ethernet cable, which is more expensive, but it's worth every dime living in rural America. Then I've got insurance. I've got 2 different insurances. I have got my car insurance, which I just put averages about $100. That's probably high, but it's okay. I would rather average out a little bit higher than I actually need. Then we've got my health insurance. My health insurance is through my husband's company now, but we pay for most of it. So it's about $700 to $800 a month for our insurance. And so that's $400 for me that I need to be able to contribute. Then we've got our water for our home. It averages about $68, so that's $34. So those are my utilities and insurance that I pay for. Now, next you're going to have to figure out any debts that you have, any credit card debts, car loans, personal loans, anything else. Like I said, that yacht, you got to pay for it. I am super proud to say, and most of you guys probably know this, I have no debt besides the mortgage. And I'm working very, very hard to ensure that I do not build up debt again, because I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to tackle almost $50,000 in credit card debt again. No, thank you. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. And look, you guys, we have a visitor here. We have Zeus who's come to see me. What are you doing? We're filming YouTube. Did you just want to come say hi? Yeah, come say hi. And so no debt for me. So when you take into consideration what I just told you guys for my bills, my income that is the bare minimum that I need every single month to pay the needs of me is $1,714. That is what I need. Is not too bad, right? That's because of the debt. It's amazing once you get rid of the debt, how little you actually need. Now, next, of course, we need to make sure that we've got our emergency savings. So this is the number that you utilize to figure how much you need for your emergency savings. Now, of course, remember, this isn't going to Starbucks or going to get my chai tea. This isn't going to Hawaii. This isn't getting my eyelashes done, my hair colored, my massage, anything like that. Also not buying gifts for anybody in my family. So this is bottom dollar, very lowest. So if we've got 1714, most of the experts say that you want to have 6 months. I want to have 12 months because I am self-employed. And so if I times that by 12, that gives me $20,568 for a year of paying my bills and doing the bare minimum. Of course, you guys, I am not a bare minimum girl. So I doubled this so that I could have that much sitting in my emergency save for my personal emergency save. And actually, I did more than double it. So I've got about $50,000 in my emergency save, and that feels amazing. I don't tell you guys that to brag, to say, look at how wonderful I am. I tell you guys that because if you can really buckle down and figure out what your goals are and why you want to get there, The financial freedom that you feel from having money in an account that just in case an emergency does happen, it can, pay your bills for months on end. Maybe you get sick. Maybe you get in an accident. Maybe you lose a job. Like right now, I am seriously dealing with a huge decrease in income from last year. So your girl is on a learning curve, and it's not easy to cut out stuff that you want to. But if you have to, you can. Now, of course, I'm not pulling out of my emergency fund so that I can go to Hawaii. I'm not pulling out of my emergency fund for my eyelashes. I've got to make it work. So your girl is side hustling. She's going to do whatever she needs to do. So for emergency fund, the stats are, I just looked them up because I wanted to see, because we hear stats all of the time get thrown around, whether it be on a reel, whether it be from a politician, whether it be from a friend. And so I wanted to look them up for myself. And the stats are showing that right now, 67% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I was there. I lived a majority of my life paycheck to paycheck. Also, there was a 2024 Forbes study that shows that 28% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. Those are not good numbers, you guys. We don't want to be there. I want each and every one of you to have the financial security to know that if something happens in your life, you're going to be okay. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about me and my spending ways. And we're going to go ahead and break down my weekly spending. Then we're going to unstuff my wallet. We're going to restuff my wallet, and we're going to do some savings challenges towards our number one goal, which is paying off our mortgage. Now, one thing you're going to notice is right now, my savings challenge videos, I am not stuffing nearly as much into savings challenges as I used to. It's because my income has gone down, right? The money is not there. And so if you've got a change in income, you've got to figure out how you're going to make it work, right? Like Tim Gunn used to say on Project Runway, make it work. If you are brand new to my channel, every week I go through and track my weekly spending. Somebody on one of the last videos asked me, how do you keep track of your spending? Do you write it down? Do you keep receipts? How do you make it work? For me, I try to write it down as soon as I can, but sometimes it doesn't happen. I always keep receipts for things that are outside of the norm. Of course, my first spend, which was on Sunday, was a chai tea. I didn't get a receipt for that. So I'm paying cash for that, so there's no receipt, there's no trail besides the cash is missing. Sometimes when you watch me do these videos, you'll see that I'm like, I know I bought 3 chai teas this week, but I don't know what day. And truly, does it matter what day? Probably not. But that is how I keep track. I try to write them down as soon as possible. And like when I get gas or when I get food or anything like that, I go ahead and put the receipt into my wallet. And also, if I'm getting things like gas or food, I typically am not using the cash in my wallet. I am using a rewards credit card. So that is one thing that I do, and you will see that. So I'm not against using credit cards. However, if you cannot use credit cards responsibly, which me with almost $50,000 in credit card debt in 2020 didn't know how to do, I have now reined it in, but you've got to be very, very careful when you use credit cards. It is a very slippery slope, and it is very easy to go over. That is why I do what I do, and I'll explain it in just another minute. So on Saturday, I had a no spend. We love no spends, right? On Sunday, the Yorkies and I went and got a chai tea, and I also found a G-Buck. So I've got some G-Bucks sitting here that need to go into the binder. And if you're not familiar with the bucks that I'm talking about, depends on where they were minted, where they were printed at, and it has a different letter. So I saved G-Bucks for garden. So those both came out of my money. On Monday, it was a no spend. And it's so funny because I'm thinking that this chai tea might have been on Monday instead of on Sunday. Then on Tuesday, I went out of town and I went and spent some time with my kids. We were cleaning out my parents' house and going through probate, and that's a whole nother story. If you're interested in that, you can check out my vlogging channel, which is Marlene, aka Snow Gardener 307. So on Tuesday, we have quite a bit more expenditures. I spent $20 on gas, right? For my car. Love that the gas prices are lower. So much easier to make ends meet. And so I did not go into the gas station and give them $20. Instead, I used my card at the pump, and then I took $20 out of my car divider and I moved it back to the bank divider. So that meant I had $30 left in my car divider. That's why I like still getting the cash even if I'm not spending it. I went to Smith's and went grocery shopping, $20 there. Taco time, bought myself some dinner, $8 there, but I used my own money to do it because I am on a no spend challenge. We'll talk about that when we do our actual check-in. Domino's, $50. I took the money out of fun for this. I paid for my kids and I to have a pizza party at my parents' house while we were doing an unfun chore. So $50. And I say my kids and I, this is my 20-year-old son and my 23-year-old daughter. And then Walmart. I went to Walmart and I needed to get some potting soil as well as some planters. These are for plants that I took from my mom's house that had been infested with gnats for God knows how many years. And so I spent $65 there. Now I'm taking $25 out of home and I'm using home sinking fund. Then I went to Home Depot, got some more, spent some more money. Same thing with that. We're going to take that out of home sinking fund. I got myself a chai tea before I left town, got another G-Buck there. And then on Wednesday, I went ahead and got a tea as well. I didn't do a chai tea this time. I did a, can't I think of what it's called now? I don't know. I did something different. It was more expensive, so it was $8. Then on Thursday, no spend, and today, no spend. I'm not getting a chai tea today. I already got 3 teas or drinks this week. I don't need any more. So when I add all of this up, it is $242. Then we're going to go ahead and flip on back. And we're going to go ahead and pull this out of our envelope, or out of our binder, I should say, so that it makes it a little bit easier to do. So here's my no spend that I was telling you guys about. I'm on a no spend pantry challenge. I only give myself $20 a week for fresh produce and dairy products, and no eating out unless we're out of town. You saw that the eating out that I did this week, I funded through other ways besides through our cash. Here is my new cash right here. Here is my wallet. So we'll go ahead and take these dividers out of here with all of the cash. And we'll talk about what we've got. So for food, you guys know I just told you that I spent $20, and I actually went over. I spent $20 and was it 18 cents or something? But we're only taking into consideration $20. So that means that I've got $80 left. This is going to Hawaii. That's right, you guys. We have booked a trip to Hawaii, and it was not in our budget right now. So normally we save for trips and then we take them. We didn't do it this time. So we are backpedaling. I have not paid for scuba diving yet. So that is the money that we're working on right now. Prepper Pantry. Did not spend anything in Prepper Pantry. So we've got $50 left over there. That's going to go to Hawaii as well. So $50. This is nice for a change because normally all of this money would be going to our mortgage. And not that that's not a good goal, but we have been working so hard and so long on the mortgage that it's nice for money to be going somewhere else. And honestly, you guys, the motivation is a little bit better. So car, I've got $30 left from my car because I spent $20. So I've got $30 left. This is not going to Hawaii. This is going to go into my adulting binder, into my auto fund. This is my long-term sinking fund. This can pay for things such as registration, tires, oil changes, but ultimately a new car in cash is what I'd like to do. And probably not new because I don't ever buy brand new, but a new to me car. So we have got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, $116 left in my spending. And so that meant we spent what? $32? We spent $32 and that was pretty much all on drinks. We're going to go ahead and roll that over. I don't ever penalize myself for not spending my guilt-free money. We had nothing in Pay It Forward, so we've got nothing there. And the reason for that is we had a huge giving expense earlier this month. Fun and miscellaneous, we had $50. We spent $50, so there's nothing left there. Home, we had $25, but we spent the $25 plus more. So that is what we've got. Now look here, you guys, we've got bank. And you can see I've got cash in here. And so I have got $55 that needs to go to Home Depot. That's to pay that expense that I just told you guys. I do have a Home Depot card. And then Citibank is my preferred card right now for American Airlines. So I've got $113 to go to pay for these expenses. Perfection. Okay, now we need the next page out of the binder, and then we can see exactly where we're going to be for the start of this next week. Just like that. Pull that on out, and I'm going to leave that one right there because then I can look and see what we're starting with. So for our cash, we've got it right here. I only get paid once a month. I pay myself once a month. So I go ahead and put all of the money in a paper clip and I put it in the safe. So for food, we've got $100. I had somebody ask previously, and I think I've already covered this, but somebody said, if you only want to spend $20, why do you give yourself $100? And for me, it's all a mental thing. It's being able to take this $80 and put it towards a goal. And so actually having the cash helps me a lot. And truly, you need to figure out what can help you, what can make you reach your goals. That's what's most important. So car, we need $50 for as well. And obviously we didn't roll any of this stuff over, so it's easy. Then for me, I need $40. And so let's go ahead and add this in here. And we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 40, 156 is my starting total. Pay it forward. I am not going to put anything into pay it forward. I'm going to take the $10 that I had saved and put that into the giving that was upside down. Fun and miscellaneous needs $25. And then we've got home that needs $25. So 25 and 25. Then I do like to add up what I've got down here at the bottom. You guys can see. So for week 3, we spent quite a bit more this week because I did go out of town. We've got $20 in food, nothing in prep or pantry. We have got $20 in car. For me, I've got $32. For pay it forward, nothing because we didn't have anything. Fun and miscellaneous, 50, and home, 25. So the spending is still low. And you guys, like I said, my income is lower. So you're going to notice that I am going to be trying very hard to cut the spending on the needs. Now, I'm not cutting them completely out yet, but your girl has got to figure out a way to make it work, right? I've got to make it work because if I don't, then I'm going to end up in credit card debt again. I'm going to have to go get a regular job again, which I do not want. I am looking at other side hustles. I am thinking about it. I am, not above going and getting a job. So we've got $130 going to Hawaii and $10 going to give. So I'm going to go ahead and write this on here so that I don't forget. So Hawaii, 130, give 10. All right, you guys, let me grab some savings challenge money and all the things and stuff, and I'll be right back. We are going to be playing Shut the Box today. That's right, everybody. And not just the regular version. That's what this one is. I showed you guys on one of my last videos that I went ahead and come up with Shut the Box. That was my own, that was available on my website as well as my Etsy. Well, I didn't just do a regular Shut the Box. I went ahead and came up with a few different versions and twists. I wanted to make it my own. I am not about just taking somebody's idea and presenting it as my own. So the next one is just fun because it has Georgette and Fred Jr. on it, and it's pink and green, right? Now, of course, you can print this in grayscale. It was still super cute. So same concept, Shut the Box. I did add the line at the end so you can go ahead and write your total in. I liked that concept. Then I've got 2 different versions. I have a Shut the Box doubles and a Shut the Box, the big one. We're going to talk about both of these. We're going to play both of these today. So this version right here has the same rules as the regular Shut the Box, except for it deals with doubles. So say, for example, you roll double 4s. Okay, so you roll an 8, right? But it's doubles. So down here it says doubles twist. Roll doubles, savings options. 1, save the number rolled. 4, right? So I would save $4. Times 2 the number rolled. Save 8, right? Or times 2 the total roll. So 8 times 16. This is in addition to the total saved for the row, write additional amount in box at the end of the row. So I've only given you 2 boxes for each row. If you roll more, you could just write it off to the side. So that's the doubles version. So opportunity to save more money. And down here, it gives you those 3 options. Then we've got the big one. And of course, this is 1 through 12. So of course, it's a much larger savings challenge. But for mine, I've got a twist. So it says that you have some twists. So there's 2 twists, 2 options. The first one is roll 2d6 dice and add them up. Same thing, right? Except for you can use 1, 2, or 3 numbers. So shut the box, if you actually have the shut the box game, which I do, Mr. Snow Gardener, and I've played it on this channel before, you can use 3 numbers. So if I do 8, I could use a 6 or a 5, a 2, and a 1 for 8. So I could color those 3 numbers in if I wanted to, or an 8, or a 7 and a 1, or a 6 and a 2, or a 5 and a 3. So you get to use 1, 2, or 3 numbers. So that is the change for that one for roll 2 dice. Then we have another version, and I don't know how much you guys are going to like this one. We're going to play it today. We're going to see if I like it. I played it a little bit when I came up with the concept, but we're going to roll 3d6 dice. That's right, you guys. We're going to roll 3. So up to 18, right, to be able to be rolled, which should make it easier to get 10, 11, and 12. We'll see how much I like this. And so down here it says roll 3d6 dice and add up. Color any combo of the total. You can color in 1, 2, or 3 numbers. So we're going to go ahead and start off with doubles first, and then we will do the big one. That's right, you guys. We've got $100. I don't know how far this is going to get us today, but that's what I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with green for shut the box doubles. You can get this, like I said, it's all one PDF so that you can print it off. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my thumb holes for now, because for some reason I find it hard to roll dice if I've got cloth on my palm there. All right. No, we're just doing doubles. We only need 2, Marlene. So we got a 5. We forgot to say no whammies, no whammies, big bucks, big bucks. And if you hear Loki in the background, he's just being a whiny butt. And we've got another 5. Okay, so we need no whammies, big bucks, or else we're going to be out of here before we know it. And let's see if we can actually roll a double, right, for the fun doubles twist. And we got a 7. So again, 1 or 2 numbers for this game. We've got another 5. So 2 and 3 are gone. So we have 6, 8, and 9. Come on. And we got a 7. So we are done. No doubles on that one. Dang it. So 6 plus 8 is 12. Plus 9 is 21. I'm using my mental math, you guys. If I messed up and can't add, it is what it is. It is what it is. So 21, no doubles for that game. Dang it. And who knows? I don't know how often I actually roll doubles. We are going to do the 1 color combination, and we're just going to go back and forth like I did the last time. So we got a 6. We got a roll already. Yay, we got doubles. So here, we're going to color in 6, and I am just going to save the die that I rolled. So I'm going to save an extra $3 for that double. And we got a 9. And we got a 3. Okay, so no whammies, big bucks. Let's go, let's go. And we got another 6, so we're going to do 5 and 1. And we got a 9, so we can do 7 and 2. So we've got 8 and 4 left. 8, I almost colored the wrong number in, you guys. That has happened before as well. And I need to push that out more. So we've got 4, 7, or an 11 that will save us. And we got a 12. Now, we're out, but we still rolled doubles. So your girl's going to go ahead and add a 6, right? Because look at, we did that. So we have got 11 right here from our sheet. And this is the way that I'm going to do it. 11 plus 3 and 6. So we've got another $20 saved. So $41. off of 2 rounds of Shut the Box doubles. And of course the doubles, it just adds another fun aspect to it. I have not seen this anywhere. I don't know if anybody else has come up with anything like this, but I really wanted to come up with something that was my idea and not somebody else's. I don't like taking ideas from other people. I pride myself in that. Now, I have seen that Renee does have the 1 through 12. I've played it before, and it has kicked my butt. So that's what made me think about it. I was like, okay, what can I do to make this game a little bit, more fun? I'm going to go ahead and use 3 dice. We'll see if we like it or not, but that's what we're going to do. It is an option. So we're going to do 3 dice. No doubles on this one or triples. So if we get any of that, it does not matter. Of course, you can combine them if you wanted to. So we've got 7. So we're going to go ahead and color in a 7. Let's see how this works, you guys. We've got an 8. Now, somebody's going to be like, Marlene, you can only roll a 2 with 2 dice. Yes, I know that. But of course, you can utilize a 2 anywhere in the game. And when you get down below 6, you can go ahead and roll 1 dice like with the other one. Okay, let's keep going. No whammies, big bucks. And we got a 5. All right, come on, come on. And we got a 10. Let's color in that 10. Get rid of one of those big ones. And we got another 8. So we're going to have to go ahead and do 6 and 2. All right. And we got a 6. Oh goodness, you guys, I don't think I like this game anymore. This big one is a humdinger. I'm going to get my calculator out because my mental math game can't do that one. So we've got 12 plus 11 plus 9 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1. We've got $40. $40 on that one. Whew, that did not go how I expected it to go, especially with rolling dice. And so I've really been listening to the way I say words lately. And I say a lot of things weird, and I know I say things weird, and I don't do it on purpose, but especially is one of those. I put that X in there, and I've been catching myself do it. So I'm going to try very, very hard to change that word in my speak, as they would say. So we need $40. So we've got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I believe that means that we've got like $19 left. We're going to roll it. We're going to do it. We're going to do better on this one. I just know it. I know it. We're going to roll big numbers and get these big ones gone. Are you guys ready? Okay. No whammies. Big bucks. And we got a 13. That's what I'm talking about. So 12 and 1. All right. Big bucks. No whammies. And we got an 18. So we're going to go ahead and do 11 and 9. No, 11 and 7. Sorry, you guys. 11 and 7 is 18. All right. Okay, now we could still use another big one like that, but maybe down a little bit. We went down a little bit. We went to 15. So we're going to go ahead and do 10 and 5. And remember, we can use 3 numbers if we need to. And look at that, you guys. We got a 15 again. We're going to go ahead and do 9 and 6. And I can change to 2 dice anytime I want. And I can change to 1 dice when I have 6 or less. Now, I'm looking at this. And I could roll a 13, a 14, a 10, an 8, a 7. I'm going to go ahead and go down to 2 dice, you guys. That's what I want to do. And I rolled a 4. Okay. And let's roll 2 dice again. And I rolled a 7. Okay, we don't have a 7. So we've got $13 there. So not near as bad. That's more what I expected with rolling all of those dice. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 buckaroos there. And we'll go ahead and color these in. So these are the 2 new Shut the Box. Now, the one that I had printed before that I've started coloring on, it did change a little bit. The size of the numbers, I think, are a little bit smaller. Where did I put that one? Yeah, just a little bit. The lines at the end are a little bit different, but I don't want to waste this one, right? So I'm going to keep this one in the rotation as well. So we've got these 3 Shut the Box challenges that we are utilizing. And how much money do we have going to the mortgage today just by playing Shut the Box? I like those versions. Let me know what you guys think. 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4. $94 going to our mortgage today. The Shut the Box will be on sale for this weekend only for 50% off. So if you want to grab it, head on over to either my Etsy shop or my website. I will give you guys a heads up that my website is always a little bit cheaper because I don't have the Etsy fees. All right, you guys, until I see you guys next time, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just